Aho Mitakuyasan, and welcome to the first Thursday virtual storytelling event, the collaboration between the Storytellers of San Diego and Eclipse Chocolate Bar and Bistro, where prior to the pandemic, we have been telling stories in person at Eclipse Chocolate for 2 or 3 years, and now virtually, still in conjunction with support by Eclipse. Eclipse is a restaurant in South Park. They have delicious food, and they are fully open now. Besides food, great chocolate. And so as a collaboration between ourselves and them, we do these storytelling evenings. The theme for this month, July, is Indigenous Tales from Turtle Island. Now, for those who may not know, Turtle Island is the tribal term for the continent on which we live here that we now call North America. Most of the tribes of today, which are alive and well, by the way, many people think of the tribal life as something of the past, but it is quite alive and well throughout this country and this world. The name Turtle Island has a story behind it. Long, long ago, there was a great flood which covered the earth. Only a few survived. One human, male, and several of the creatures that could either swim or fly in the air. And there was a great big log that this man was floating on as he searched frantically for land, of which there was none. After a time, some of the animals of the sea and the birds of the air would land on the log, and they would all keep company together. And the man decided that he would dive in. He told the others he would dive in and swim down and down and down, trying to reach the bottom where he could grab some earth and bring it up. So he did. He was gone for a very long time, and the other creatures were getting worried. Finally, he surfaced, completely out of breath and exhausted and empty-handed. He never reached the bottom. It was so deep. Well, the loon volunteered to try, and so she went down and she dived deep, deep, deep. And again, the others waited, but with the same result. She eventually surfaced with nothing. One animal or creature after another tried, but was unsuccessful, until finally the muskrat volunteered and disappeared below the surface of the oceans. The muskrat was gone longer than any of the others, and they were really worried. And finally, it surfaced, only to be found lifeless. In mourning, the others took the muskrat and laid it up on the log, and noticed that in its paw was a clump of earth that it had found. It had reached the bottom. And so they celebrated muskrat and mourned it. So now the turtle came forth and decided to allow the person and all the beings to place this piece of earth on its back. And the 4 winds blew from the north, south, east, and west, and scattered this earth upon the turtle's back and made it bigger and bigger and bigger until it grew into this continent on which we now live, which the people called Turtle Island. And so I welcome you to this time, this next hour of stories from Turtle Island, stories of the people who were here for thousands and thousands of years, by the people or stories about the people. It was just recently discovered, actually, prior to a few years ago, it was thought that the people were here for about the last 15 to 20,000 years. But right here in San Diego, just a few years back, down in the southern part of San Diego, there was a finding, an archaeological finding, that lends evidence to believe that people have been here at least 130,000 years. So the people are ancient, and they are present in the now, in this time, alive and well, tribal life included. And so, without any further ado, I would like to let you know of the 4 storytellers who will be telling this evening. All are members of the Storytellers of San Diego. First will be Kathleen Chilcolt Wallace. Following her will be David Schmidt, who will be followed by Jim Dykman, and then by myself. My name is Fred Laskowski, and I will be finishing up with the final story and some closing comments. So, let the stories begin.